Hey everybody, welcome on this Thursday night down here at the CSF building. Missing you all here for sure. And I know a lot of you are missing that CSF community that we experience on Thursday nights. But I also want you to know that even though we're not together, man, we are still a community. We are still people who care for each other. The staff, every day, I want you to know this, praying for every student, even if you're not in a core group, ship group, whatever it is, randomly show up. If we have your name on a piece of paper, we are going through it and we are praying for you. And so if you've got specific prayer requests, we'd love to hear them. But I want you to know you have CSF, in your corner. We are very much there for you. And so as a friend to you, we thought we'd make this fun little video that I'd like to show you now to let you know that, man, you've got a friend in the CSF community.
You've got a friend in me.
You've got a friend in me.
When your road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed,
you just remember what your old pal said.
Boy, you've got a friend in me.
Yeah, you've got a friend in me.
You've got a friend in me.
You got a friend in me.
You got troubles.
I've got them too.
There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you.
We stick together and see it through.
'Cause you've got a friend in me. 'Cause you've got a friend in me.
some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am.
Bigger and stronger too.
But none of them will ever love you
the way I do. It's me and you, boy.
And as the years go by,
Our friendship will never die.
You're gonna see it's our destiny.
you've got a friend in me.
Yeah, you've got a friend in me.
Yeah, you've got a friend in me.
Even though apparently several of us, myself included, can't carry a tune, man, just I love the heart of that song, of that, just that you've got a friend in CSF. And I hope if you're just randomly watching this, even if you haven't connected with us before, I hope this quarantine that we're all kind of self-isolation time we're under, I hope you reach out to CSF, because we would love to try to support you however we possibly can. That song just hits it in such a beautiful, beautiful way. Speaking of songs, I remember I was in college and came across the singing and songwriting of a guy named Rich Mullins. And I got to see Rich in concert a few times, and before Rich passed away in a tragic car accident. But when I got to meet Rich one time, I just had a little card, had an album cover of his on it, and I just handed it to him and said, hey, would you sign this? I've never been a big autograph person, but I just wanted to get an autograph from this guy who I loved his music so much. And he simply signed, and I'll never forget what he signed. He simply wrote two words: be God's rich. And apparently that was his standard autograph when anybody asked him for an autograph: be God's rich, be God's rich. There's this book of prayers that someone gave me recently, and I picked it up. They told me about it and I picked it up. It's called Every Moment Holy. And it's this collection of prayers for all kinds of different moments throughout the day. There's prayers for, when you're doing your laundry. There's prayers for the preparation of a good meal. There's prayers for a preparation of a hurried meal. There's prayers for students and scholars. There's prayers for when you arrive at the ocean, prayers for stargazing, prayers for your morning coffee ritual, prayers for people who feel awkward in social gatherings, prayers for when you feel the impulse to buy something, prayers for when you see a beautiful person, prayers for when you experience laughter, and on it goes. It's this huge collection of different prayers for every moment. And speaking of that, we've got this book that some of the staff are doing, and I'd invite you all, if you want to send us a DM or text the CSF phone, we'd love to get you a copy of this. I think it's $20 on Amazon, but as you know, we always look for good deals deals, and CSF makes no money on books, but we could get this to you in the mail for $10, and that includes shipping to your house, wherever you're at. But it's called Liturgy of the Ordinary by Tish Harrison Warren. It was a Christianity Today Book of the Year award 3 or 4 years ago. But she talks about experiencing God in moments like just simply waking up, or making your bed, or losing your keys, or eating leftovers, or checking your email, or sitting in traffic. On and on the different chapters are in this, of just experiencing God in every single moment, the liturgy of the ordinary. And that's what I want to say to us tonight is, I know it's tough to not be in this room. And honestly, it's kind of tough for me to be in here, just to hear my voice echoing off empty walls. Because, yeah, this is a special place for the CSF community. This room has been just so many great moments. But I want to say that in our quest to be God's and to experience God in every moment of life, for every moment to be holy, that I do want to emphasize, as good as this room and as good as the CSF community is, and we're still a community, though we're scattered, we are still a community. And we will hopefully very soon get to come back together and celebrate being together. But we don't want to be dependent on the gift of, say, being in this room and experiencing worship with a big band and lots of voices, great voices that sound a lot better than some of those in the videos. There was a few good ones in there. That's a great gift that we have of being together. But I want to say we're not dependent on those. We are dependent on our good Father, and He knows how to take care of us. He knows how to give us our daily bread, even if we're not in a place like CSF. That passage of Paul's, that famous Philippians 4 passage that some of you will know, certainly the last verse, Paul says this, he says, I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I've learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in poverty or in want, or in plenty or in want. I can do everything through Him who gives me strength. Paul's saying, when we have great gifts like being together, man, let's celebrate that. Let's celebrate, amazing voices singing together and getting to hang out in PSPs, and that's great. But in other moments where we don't have that plenty, to say, God, I'll trust you to give me what I need today. That whatever it is, you will take care of me, and I'm going to trust you. I know that trust is hard won for a lot of you, though, because I know that right now we are heading into that last week of heading in Jesus' life, that last week of Lent. And some of you may be practicing Lent. I know I didn't grow up practicing Lent at all. I wasn't a Christian until I was almost 17. And so Lent and celebrations weren't something that we did. But, and even this year as a grown Christian, grown person who's still growing in Christ, trying to practice Lent. And there's moments of highs and lows, moments where I lean into the fast that I've committed to, of not eating snacks late at night, of not binge watching YouTube videos and different things. Moments where I've leaned in and moments where I've leaned away. But I notice the moments where I do lean in, that God does meet me in a unique way. It's not that He loves me anymore, anything like that, but I'm just giving God in ordinary moments in my life, around my house, late at night when I'm not just snacking on food, binge watching stuff, where God's just saying, hey, I want to meet you even at 10:30 at night, 11 o'clock at night, whatever it is, just in your bedroom and talking with you in those simple ways, that every moment can be a holy moment, where that I can be God's. As we head into this last week of Jesus' life, we head into Easter next weekend. We've got 1 week left, and I know that next Friday is Good Friday. But Good Friday is a hard Friday, because Good Friday is the day that Jesus died, and it's a day of death and a day of sin and darkness, and even all the different things that are hard about that day. And for some of you all may feel like, man, this whole Lenten season for me, this whole period has felt like just darkness and death. You may feel like, you've experienced the death of your semester. You may feel like, man, it's just totally fallen apart. You may feel like you've experienced, the death of your summer plans, the death of your finances, or the further death. For many of you, like going, my finances were already dead, and they're just further down in the ground now. Or maybe you're experiencing the death and the hellishness of being at home and just lost in pornography again. Or you're just feeling like you're just lost in depression. So many people being alone and feeling isolated. Or maybe you're just feeling frustrated and down and feeling the death of going, man, it is so hard to love my family. We just fight, and it's tough. I want you all to know that, man, even in the midst of this death, even in the midst of the harshness of it, that it may feel like Friday, but man, we are a week and a half from Easter, and Sunday is coming. It's Friday. It may feel like Friday right now for you, but Sunday is coming. And I just want to encourage you to give God a chance. Paul says there's 3 last things that remain: faith, hope, and love. That you would not give up faith, that you would have hope in Jesus, and that you would experience his love as we head in towards Easter, to know that every moment can be a moment that God meets you. You do not have to wait till you get back here. You do not have to wait till the coronavirus is over and the self-isolation is over for God to be there with you, just to say a prayer: God, meet me in this moment. And that too, whatever you're doing, whether it's a walk through your neighborhood, studying, anything, God can meet you in each and every moment if we would give him that chance. So I just want to leave you with that encouragement that God will meet us in this if we just are willing to meet him. It may feel like Friday, but Sunday's coming. Sunday is coming. He will produce in you the person that he has been shaping you to be, the man that he made you to be. He can do that even now. The woman he made you to be. He can do that even now, even in the midst of this, that you can be God's. So no, it may feel like Friday, but Sunday's coming. Let me pray for us. Jesus, we just want to invite you in. I know for me, I felt stressed at various points and not sure what you're wanting to do in my life during this time, but yet even those stressful moments where I feel myself getting frustrated or irritable, or even teaching moments to say, Jesus, what are you wanting to do in my heart, in my life, even in these moments? And so, Lord, I pray that for all of us here, that we would sense that, it's hard right now for a lot of us, but Sunday's coming. Sunday is coming. Lord, that you are coming, and honestly, we don't even have to wait till a literal Sunday, a literal Easter. You are willing to meet us right here, right now. And so, Lord, I pray that students, wherever they are, would experience just your holy presence in every single moment of life, and learn to open up to the wideness of your goodness of meeting them. So I pray that all in your good and strong name. Amen. Hey, before we take off, just a reminder of next week. We got a special Synergy next Thursday. We have a special night next Wednesday talking about, did the resurrection really happen, with this world famous scholar on the resurrection. Really special time that we'll get to have together digitally. But before we head into worship, I want to give you all a chance to hear from a couple of students and how they're experiencing God during this time. And hopefully it's an encouragement to you and spurs you on to say, God, use this time. So, till we're together again, grace, peace. See ya.
Hey guys, I'm Jocelyn. I'm a sophomore. God has been really transforming this time of isolation and anxiety into a time of solitude and intimacy with Him. He is a God of comfort and nearness, and He gives us a peace that surpasses all understanding. He is faithful to meet us here in our brokenness and our uncertainty and fear, and He does not leave us there. So I encourage you to press into what He has to say to you in this time and to trust Him with it.
What's up, guys? I'm Connor. I'm a sophomore, and one way that I've been really learning how to trust a little more and really just drawing closer to God is just learning how to trust His plan for my life, because this coronavirus has really put a wrench in summer plans, summer jobs, summer camp that I was going to work at. But I've just been really having to learn that His plan is best for my life, and then I have to trust in that, even though it maybe doesn't seem right at the time.
Hi, my name is Mary. I'm a freshman, and the way that I've been using this time to be with the Lord is through journaling. And what journaling looks like to me is just kind of inviting the Lord to be my daily bread in a practical way, and just invite Him into my daily life and that space of my heart, just to reflect and be with Him and process with Him.
Hey guys, my name's Nick and I'm a senior, and overall this quarantine hasn't been too bad. I've tried to get up at the same time every day to keep a routine, get outside every day, and it's been good. Spiritually, I've taken the time to go through the book of Matthew, and I'm learning every day to become more and more comfortable with isolation, which is usually hard for me, but it's going well.
face shine upon him and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. The Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. Amen. Amen. Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. We sing Amen, Amen, Amen. Sing it again, we sing Amen, Amen,
His favor be upon you in 1,000 generations. Your family, your children, their children, their children. May his favor be upon you in 1,000 generations. And your family, and your children, and your children, and their children. May his favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family, and your children, and their children, and their children. May his presence never gonna let me down. And you're never gonna let me down. 'Cause you are good, you're good. Oh, yeah, you are good, you're good. Oh, yeah, you are good, you're good. Oh, yeah, you are good, you're good. For CSF, Father, we thank you that even though we may not be in the same physical location, that our hearts can all come together as the church, God, and that we can worship you and we can still hear from you and we can still talk to you. God, that you were with us yesterday, you're with us today, and that you will be with us forevermore, God. We just thank you for all that you're doing. God, that we may not understand why right now, but we know that you're moving and you're doing something. So God, you just be lifted high in this time in our lives. We love you so much. It's in your holy precious name we pray. Amen. Sweet guys, thank you so much for tuning into Synergy this week. Just stay on just a little bit longer. There might be some announcements, and then we're all gonna head over to Instagram Live. So thanks.
Hey everyone, it's Dylan
and Bailey,
and we're doing announcements for Synergy Mini Cine Round 2. So, hey, we've got some cool stuff coming up. We want to tell you about it. First of all, next week we have a couple cool events on Wednesday for kind of our like Easter series. Also a cool sign, right? Bailey made these, not me. I'm not very artsy. But next Wednesday we have Mike Licona, who is like one of the foremost world-renowned scholars on the resurrection. We'll be talking to him Wednesday at 8 p.m. So come through for that. We'll send out more stuff on social media and on our website. But also on Thursday, we have one of my favorite people, Sandra Richter. I call her Sandy Richter. One of the best Old Testament scholars in the world will be talking to us at Synergy about stuff like Passover. How does the Old Testament apply to the New Testament story of Jesus going to the cross? We're going to be talking about that. It's going to be really, really cool. So see you next week, Wednesday and Thursday night.
Awesome. Well, y'all, we definitely want you to continue to be a part of CSF next year, so make sure you go and sign up for Discipleship. Discipleship is a great way to get plugged into CSF within a small group and just give you an opportunity to serve and grow within the ministry. So make sure you sign up. You'll get plugged into a really awesome group and get to meet a ton of people. So make sure right after this you're going to go to ukcsf.org/discipleship and you can sign up there.
Bingo. And then if you want to know about anything that's going on around at CSF while we're all in quarantine and kind of doing a lot of remote stuff, a lot of stuff on our computers and on our phones, go to ukcsf.org. There's all the stuff you need to know about when is Synergy happening, when is all the stuff that we're announcing happening. You can find it there at our website.
Awesome. Well, just like normal Synergy, we want to pray for you. So if you would like to receive prayer, just text the CSF phone at this number right here, and there will be people who are ready to receive that text and to pray for you and over you.
That's so good. And tomorrow night, we have one of my favorite things, which is Faith and Film. Woo! Look at these DVDs. I love DVDs. I love collecting DVDs. But we're not watching any of these movies. We're watching the perfect quarantine movie. We're watching Shawshank Redemption. Now, here's what you need to know. The movie's about being trapped in a place and wanting to get out. Let's talk. Familiar. I mean, come on, it's perfect. So, we'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m., and we're doing a thing called Netflix Party. So if you want to know more about that, go to ukcsf.org/faithandfilm.
Awesome. Well, y'all, we might be in quarantine, but 3 o'clock prayer is still happening, and it's happening on UKCSF's Instagram Live. So make sure you tune in there, 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Every day you can join in 3 o'clock prayer and worship and just come together as a community from wherever you are in the comfort of your own home. So make sure you tune in to 3 o'clock prayer.
Absolutely. And then also make sure you tune in to Bedtime with Brian, Tuesdays at 9 p.m. We said goodbye to our sweet angel Molly last week. We kept her in our prayers, but now she's up in heavens with Jesus. And so we are going to keep going with Bedtime with Brian, though, 9 p.m. Tuesdays. Join us. Maybe if we really keep watching it, Brian will have to do this forever. So keep watching so that Brian has to do this forever.
That would be awesome. And we are going to continue with our mini synergies throughout the rest of the semester. So if you want to keep coming to Synergy, make sure you tune in to Facebook Live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
You got it. And now we're going to hop over to Instagram, where we're having our post-synergy party on Instagram Live. So see y'all in just a second. We're heading over to Instagram.
Grace, peace.